Hi, fam. I was sitting here and I've been feeling really called to write again, but I just have not really known what to write about. And you might be thinking, Lynn's, write again. Yeah. I wrote several books a couple years ago when I was integrating from a combo medicine journey down in Costa Rica. And one of them is listed on my website. Feel free to check it out. It's called Healing Unhinged. It's all lessons that I've learned along my healing journey. And I've had several people ask me, can you like make it an audiobook or something? And yes, the answer is yes. But today I wanted to read you a little excerpt, and I want to also give you the backstory on these books and how fast they poured out of me. Healing Unhinged was the first one, and it was set up to be a trilogy. So you have Healing Unhinged. I believe the next one was Healing in Color. And then Healing in Yellow. There we go. Which is all lessons I've learned in my relationships, right? Marriage, divorce, friendships, other partners, things like that. And then Healing in Color, which is healing through my travels and all the things that I've learned throughout my travels and all the stories, if you will. So yeah. The second book, I believe, is done. It just needs like a once through. And then the third one, I believe, just needs to be added to because I've traveled so much since 2024. And I've learned so much since 2024. I think that's the beauty of all this. And part of me is like, man, I really wish I would have been writing a lot more throughout time. But I always feel like the lessons, when you're in it, and you're meant to be present in it. And then afterwards, you pull back and you reflect on everything. And you're like, holy shit, yeah, I learned that and that and that. Oh my God, I didn't realize that situation, had me learn this lesson. And this is the wisdom that I've pulled from that. And it's just, it's really cool and beautiful. But I wanted to share this little excerpt. I was guided to chapter 5 of Healing Unhinged today. So this book is pretty short. If you know of Chicken Soup for the Soul, that was the kind of like background or the inspiration, if you will, of how I wrote this book, and all of my books actually. Each chapter is short. It's like a page and a half, but it starts with a poem and then it goes into the actual like lesson or whatever the case is, and then it has a channeled song for every chapter. So there's a playlist. It's linked on Spotify. If you feel called to grab the book, it's on my website, and my Spotify is also linked on my website as well. So anyways, chapter 5. And 5s have been coming up a lot. 5s are all about change and transformation. And I have a little 5 on my arm here. And to me, it's also, death and rebirth and things like that. And just really change and evolving, right? And today's chapter is chapter 5. It's called Hope. And so I'm going to read you the poem and then I will read you the actual excerpt. And if you feel called to, feel free to leave a comment or share. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you feel called to get the whole book, it's, like I said, linked in my bio. So without further ado, Hope. In the darkness, I was able to find you. When I couldn't find my way out, you were there. You led me through the dark corridor to find the light within me, and that I always knew was there. But it was in that moment when I completely lost it that you pulled me through. You gave me the hope I had been long seeking. For in those dark moments, when I wanted to give up, you were there to guide the way, leading me forward one step at a time. You led me towards the light, and there I found hope. I found lightness after my darkest days. I knew it would always be you to carry me through. Now for the actual chapter. Life will test you sometimes. Life will always have its ups and downs. There are times when it will make you question all the things you've done. Why did I choose to turn this way? Why did I choose this time and place? It's in those moments when you don't know which way to go that you choose hope. You choose that light within you. Because hope will lead you through some of the darkest moments. It will light the way for you to see through, to see the way in which to move forward even when you can't fully see yourself. Hope is what pulls you through. Oh my god, I got sidetracked. There's the lizard and camel cricket are off to the side here. Oh, it's so fascinating. That was a little distraction. Sorry, guys. Oh my god, okay. Hope is what pulls you through. It's that light from deep within that shows you the way, that never gives up even in the face of adversity. Hope is what carries you through. It's full of infinite possibilities, but you must trust. You have to believe that on the other side of hope, that things will be different, that the circumstances will work out in your favor, because they always will. But first, you have to believe that hope will carry you through to the other side of the darkness. Even when you're blinded by the things trying to change you, choose hope. And of course, Help by the Beatles is the channeled song on this one. And I think the other thing too is, of course, I wrote this back in 2024 and life was so different then, but nonetheless, it still resonates. In fact, I come back to this book quite often just for little messages, right? There's hope and there's having faith and there's just this deep inner knowing, right? And I feel like that is the deeper truth of it all, right? Yes, you can choose hope, but it's having this deep inner knowing that it's all going to be okay, and believing in that on the other side of the darkest moments, there will be light. I know I had one of those dark moments recently, and I had a really, really dark moment back in February of this year. I went into the underworld for about 4 or 5 days, and it was dark. I felt like someone tied bricks to the bottom of my feet, and I got tugged so far deep into myself, right? But it felt like I went to the bottom of the ocean and I couldn't come up for air for days. And it was scary. And I had thoughts of hurting myself. I had some of the deepest, darkest thoughts I've ever had in my life. And as someone who's been on many darker journeys, especially going through autoimmune and stuff, I never had a dark moment the way that I did in February, and it was wild. To be someone who's so sunshiny and full of light, to be pulled into the absolute darkness, to feel like you're losing yourself. And somehow, some way, I kept going. I kept putting one foot in front of the other, even as dark as it got. I was like, I know it'll get better. I didn't come all this way for nothing. I didn't come this way to lose hope, to lose faith. I remember texting a friend. I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this. And she was like, you will. You're gonna come out on the other side and it's gonna be okay. You just gotta hang on and trust wherever it's taking you. And that was one of the most profound shifts I've ever had in my life. And I'm so glad that I held on and I had hope and faith and that deep inner knowing that just, I didn't give up. And so I hope if this finds you and you've been going through a dark time, or maybe you're like me and get pulled into the underworld occasionally, that just know it's going to be okay. And you will come up for air and there will be light again. There's always light even after the darkest days and the darkest nights and all the rough storms. The light does shine again. I mean, as you can see here today, it's light out in the midst of the clouds. So just know that you'll get through it, but you have to commit to it and believe in it and know that it's not going to swallow you up unless you allow it to. And sometimes you just need to surrender into it, knowing that the light will come back. And have hope. Have faith. Yeah. I feel like I'm probably going to do a few more of these, but for now I'm going to leave this one here because this one felt special. So thank you for being here. I hope that if you're going through a deep transformation or change, that just know that you're going to be a different person on the other side of this, and that's really beautiful and something to be grateful for, and to lean in and surrender to it, because you're becoming the best version of you that's yet to exist, and that's pretty freaking cool. So as always, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. This book, Healing Unhinged, is listed in my bio, as well as the autoimmune healing guide that I wrote called Lighthouse. And the Spotify links are in there. My one-on-one offers are in there. Everything's listed in there. So, yeah, thanks for being here today. I appreciate you. And I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you on the next one.